we're going to continue with our installation of Neon here. After having gotten all of our credentials, we're going to make sure we have our hardware set up ready to go. So we need a computer running Ubuntu version 18.04, which is what we have here. We're going to make sure that we have speakers and a microphone that are recognized by Ubuntu. So I'm going to go into settings and make sure there's a few audio devices here. This is the one I want to use, and I'm going to make sure by hitting test here.
Front, left.
Make sure that sound comes out. Then we're going to head over to input, make sure we have the right microphone, so we can see this one is picking up my voice. So that will work. Go ahead and close that out. Webcam is optional. It is required for skills like the USB cam skill to take pictures and videos. Most webcams will have a microphone you can use as well. So you may not need a separate microphone if you do have a webcam plugged in, just a note. And then you also need an active internet connection, which if we go up here, wired and connected. So that is all done. So we're going to continue right on to installing Neon. We have instructions here for installing both in a development and in a user environment. There's a couple differences. The user environment is intended to be a lightweight installation to use just as a voice assistant, so just for Neon. Development environment is going to be designed to be connected to development environment like PyCharm for modifying skills and core. So updates will be set up a little bit differently and some other minor differences there. So again, for this tutorial, we're going to do a development environment. Again, this is assuming we've already done the setting up service accounts. So we're going to take our Neon setup file, go over here to our home directory. We have our Neon setup. We also have our access keys from Amazon, our google.json from Google, and our wolfram.txt with our wolfram key in there. So moving right along, I'm going to open up a terminal. Type in our command bash neon setup.sh. Hit enter. For this one, we are installing in developer mode right here. We're going to opt not to use quick settings, just so we get a chance to go through all of them. We're installing from Git. I'm going to say no to the default repository, just to make sure, and in this case, I'm actually going to install from my personal one. So we'll update that there for core. My branch is dev. And same thing for skills. That's my skills git, and branch is dev. It's going to ask if we want to auto run Neon, and we don't. If I were to accidentally hit yes here, like that, I can hit B to go back and correct that to a no. And that works for anything and any number of times. So if I go ahead one more, I can go back a couple and just pick up wherever I want. So back to this installation, auto run, no. Auto updates, no. Default install locations for developer installs. This installs to subdirectory /neonai relative to our setup script. In this case, it's in the home directory, so we'd install to home /neonai. That works fine for me, so I'm going to say yes. I'll go back here and show you if you said no, you get a window that pops up and it gives you the opportunity to change the core directory to whatever you want. I'm going to leave it alone and hit OK. Install OpenHAB. OpenHAB is a piece of software that enables control of lights, thermostats, smart outlets, and the like. We have a link to their website in the instructions here if you want to learn more. I am going to install it now. And then Mimic is the offline text-to-speech engine. It's optional and it takes a while to install, so I'm going to say no for now. And then it's going to ask here to confirm. We're installing from Git, in developer mode, no run it login, no automatic updates. We are installing OpenHAB. We're using this directory, and we're using these Git repository settings. Everything looks good, so I'm going to continue. And it's going to ask for our sudo password. Go ahead and enter that. Note that usually at this point it would ask you to set up SSH keys. This computer's already been connected, so the keys already exist, which is the reason it didn't pop up here. Alright, everything's done there, so we're going to go ahead and sign in to Git. It's going to download our core. And at this point we get our status window that will follow through the rest of the installation. So next we have to get our skills, so sign in to Git one more time. And we've got that. We'll see in our status here how it progresses. We're cloning from Git. We've gotten all of our Git submodules, sourced our functions that were downloaded with the core, and right now we're building the Python virtual environment path. So because we've installed here before, many of these packages are already found and installed. So a lot of this will probably take longer the first time you do it. Alright, we'll see here it finished the virtual environment setup. It did test our credentials, so we see Wolfram, Google, and Amazon all passed. If we encountered an issue at any point with one of those, it would have popped up and asked us to direct it at a valid set of credentials. Note that Wolfram is not completely required. It's recommended because a lot of requests will use Wolfram to get a response. Amazon as well. not explicitly required except for translation, and it also has a better engine for text-to-speech, so the responses sound a lot more natural when you use Amazon Polly. And we'll see it's finished installing our requirements. It
I'm
did some
starting
things
up in
fixing
3.
files, and it just announced that it's starting up. So every time it starts up, we'll see these log entries with the current date and time. See it stop any existing instances that are running, go through the audio sources, make sure that they're all available, make sure the YML file it has is valid, and then it'll give us some nice debugging information like what version it's running on. Neon
2.
releases are marked with the date of release. And then we also see if auto start is enabled, if developer mode is enabled, where our updates are coming from, if our updates are coming automatically. It'll print out, it'll check if we have a network interface available and if that interface can connect to the internet, how many skills it found to load, and then
1.
as it updates coupon files from the server, all of that. And then in this case, we see all of our skills loaded in 51 seconds. We got our debug enabled, which is the default, and it finished. So now we see we have Neon running here. And we have our GUI window here where we have options for showing the demo, running any tests, whether we want to use wake words, clap commands, random responses. I'm going to disable wake words here just to see, make sure everything is fully functional after our installation. And we see in the debug output all of the activity for our voice module when we restart that, change wake word modes. And we'll see here it is transcribing